Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the ChaddyTheChump channel, and today we are going to be talking about Fury and Joshua. Obviously both of them having their fights over the weekend, and we're going to talk about their performances and how the performances affect the future of the fight, which will hopefully happen this year. I'm hearing around November time. We'll talk about that. Let's just get right into it. So then let's talk about Tyson Fury's performance against Marius Wack. It was in Thailand, and we were lucky enough to see footage of the fight, because before I was worried, because they announced there'd be no broadcaster. Are they really going to try and stop this fight from being put out into the media, on socials and what else? And luckily enough that they didn't really try and stop that, and people recorded what happened, and we got to see a lot of highlights from the fight. Obviously not like the full fight, but we saw a lot. We saw how Tyson Fury performed, and the general consensus from the media is that it wasn't a good performance, but I'm going to cut Tyson Fury some slack, and I think that everyone else should too, because you've got to look at the circumstances, right? The performance, of course, didn't look amazing, but the idea of going into this fight against Wack was to get rounds, and he did that. The fight went 7 rounds, and Fury ultimately got, maybe not more experience, but he definitely got back in the ring, got back to the feeling, got used to the feeling, and obviously that is helpful when you've not had many fights in recent time. Obviously he had that Makhmudov fight in April, and that was a great tester because that was in a stadium show. That felt like a proper big fight, but this one, still a press conference away in a fight night, and still getting, back into that rhythm of boxing, and he did that, and that was the whole idea, and that was the whole point of this fight. The performance itself, it was still not bad, right? When we compare it to AJ, which we'll talk about in just a sec, it was easily a much better performance. Just did what he needed to do, boxed well, may have looked a little slow, but he's an old guy, he's coming on now. I'm not too concerned with that if you're talking about the AJ fight, whereas I am more concerned about AJ for other reasons, which we'll talk about right now. So Anthony Joshua then, AJ versus Prenger, right? Obviously Prenger in the build-up, not looked at all as a threat in the build-up. Nobody thought Prenger was going to do anything, and I think we all knew the level that Prenger was at, and I'm still going to stick with the idea that Prenger isn't a good fighter, elite level fighter, world level, European level, not even British level, right? But of course that first round made Prenger look a lot better than he actually was. Of course, if you didn't watch the fight, basically AJ gets knocked around, two knockdowns it was, I'm pretty sure, and one of them wasn't counted as a knockdown. It was scary because obviously every boxing fan wants Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, and the fact that we might not get that because Prenger's going to knock out AJ, which that round 1, it seemed like it was maybe 80-20, but obviously round 2, Prenger comes in a lot slower, he's not going for it as much, which I found a bit strange, but ultimately AJ sort of capitalises off of that, and he ends up knocking Prenger out in round 2, 2 completely opposite rounds, and Anthony Joshua wins by knockout in 2 rounds. if you showed someone that without seeing the fight, you'd go, alright, nice work for Joshua, can't wait for the Fury fight. But round 1 is just so concerning because it's clear as day that Anthony Joshua cannot take a punch like a normal heavyweight boxer does, right? And that's clear. His punch resistance is not there anymore. It's sort of gone, to be honest with you. And I don't like saying that, but it seems true. You should be able to take a bit more. And maybe Prenga hits hard. Every heavyweight hits hard. Does Prenga hit harder than Fury? I don't think at all, to be honest. I think Fury can land a shot better than Prenga because he knows how to land a shot better than Prenga. So, ultimately, Anthony Joshua, it's a real concern for him going into the Tyson Fury fight, and I'm glad we're getting it, but it's a real concern, and I don't think there's a way that Anthony Joshua beats Tyson Fury now. I feel like before this, the general public thought it was 50-50 here, but now I think it's Fury who will be going into that fight as a favourite, especially for me, and there's just no way I can say Anthony Joshua beats Tyson Fury off that performance right there. But because AJ won and because he knocked him out in round 2, we get the fight, which is brilliant. But I don't think Anthony Joshua will defeat Tyson Fury. I think the punch resistance is gone. I think he can't, the defense wasn't really there, and that is concerning to say the least. And Fury can move, Fury can defend, and Fury can punch, and ultimately the basics of boxing, that sort of thing that you need to get good at, and that is what Tyson Fury will beat Anthony Joshua at. So when the fight happens, it will be a Fury victory, and that's an early prediction, but based off what I've seen this weekend and Anthony Joshua, just not the fighter he once was, obviously, and Fury isn't, but Fury's gone a bit worse, whereas AJ's gone like that because the punch resistance has gone. We saw it in the Double R fight, but I think he was better in the Double R fight, and Double R has way more power, and Anthony Joshua was probably not at his best then. He probably wasn't, but because of everything that's happened after that fight, I think he has gotten worse, unfortunately. But I'm still glad we're going to see Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua, because it is a great British fight that needs to happen. No more warm-ups now, especially not for AJ. Let's get AJ Fury in that fight, and then it could be the final fight for Anthony Joshua, and maybe the final fight for Tyson Fury. But I guess we'll see. Who knows? The location, hopefully it's in the UK. I would love for it to be in the UK. But, there's a big chance it might be in America. I guess we'll find out about that. But thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.